Hi everyone, we're back for another video, and today's video is a Q&A. I asked maybe a month or so ago in the community tab on YouTube if you've got any questions. I've also pulled some recurring questions from the comments, but before we get started, I do want to just address the video from a couple of weeks ago where, talking about business failure, which I'm supposing most of you have watched because a lot of people watched it. I want to say firstly, thank you so much for your support. The kind words and the ideas, and I actually received phone calls from some people, which is lovely, thank you. It is really nice, and I do have a little list of ideas. Something I probably do need to just clear up about that video is, Moroni is still working. He's still doing the gardening, like contracting, so we do still have money coming in. So we're not feeling like we've been left desolate. It's just that, the income's taken a pretty big hit, and we've done this before. We just cut back on things, and the kids know how to do it. Like, it's okay. We're okay. And something Moroni did say to me is he thinks that I should just not work for a bit. He just works, and I figure out what to do. Because the thing is, I'm a very creative person, and I do like to have quiet time and space and to do things where it allows my mind to think about things. And I haven't been able to do that because I've been so busy and so stressed with the business, with the flowers, like the florist business, not growing them. That actually is calming to me. The florist business has been very stressful, and it's been very flat out. So in a way, it's almost, I can see how this could become a good thing that it's happened. Right now, it still feels a bit raw and a little bit sad, but I can see how this could turn into one of those things where down the track I say, that was the best thing that happened. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Something else I want to do is just say, I think I might just lift this camera up a little bit. I feel like I'm trying to crouch. Does that feel better? Yes. Okay, I want to just say, I've got my notes here, a big thank you to Tina at Confetti Flower Farm, who bought me a coffee, and also Christy. So happy to hear you'll be growing flowers. Thank you so much for buying me a coffee. Well, actually, it's buying a fence post, but it's on the Buy Me a Coffee platform. Thank you so much. Your support is absolutely amazing. Everybody who's bought me a fence post at this point is probably wondering, where's the fence? I haven't done it yet because I'm one of those people who really, really, really wants to know that what I'm doing is the right thing, in that it feels right. And so far, I just am not settled on the fence line out in the field. And I've also had another idea. And so it's coming together. It's going to start happening soon. But I am just letting that money bank up. So then I'll be able to pull it out and go and buy materials when there's enough money in there. And when I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to change my mind and move fence lines later. There's a couple of sides I could start on now, which I've got a couple of projects over winter, and then hopefully we can get started on that. So thank you so much. All right, let's just get into it. The number one question I get asked on this channel is, what is that paper you're using? And I'm kind of laughing because I have it linked, and I'm talking to the wrong people here. You guys are not the ones asking me this question. I've got this one short that went viral, and that's really exciting, but it also causes me havoc because it messes up all the analytics in the back end of my channel. Like YouTube saying, nobody comes back and watches your videos. You need to create more videos that encourage people to come back. And I'm thinking, no, they're just watching this one short and never coming back. Like, there's hundreds of thousands of people that have watched that short, and it's skewing everything. Whereas I've got quite a loyal audience that come back and watch videos. So if I could just turn the analytics off on that one short, that would be amazing. But even though I've got the papers, I've said what the papers are, I've linked very similar suggestions to an Amazon link. People keep asking me. It's 50 by 70 centimeters. I'll put the inches conversion up on the screen, and it's like a crepe. but I do acknowledge that you guys watching this video right now are probably not the ones asking that question. Okay, next question. What size paper do I use? I've already said that. I like the 50 by 70 centimeter size. I just find that really versatile. I find it more versatile than square size paper. Yep, that's that. What bird netting do I use? I actually use I've got up on the screen, it's from Bunnings, our local hardware store, but it's a very fine sort of mesh. It's so handy. So we'll use it for keeping the birds off. We'll use it. It doesn't work that well as a frost, but it does offer a little bit of protection. It does offer sun protection. So we can put it over new seedlings in the middle of summer, and we've had good success with that. So it's not as full on as a shade cloth, but it provides a little bit of protection from the sun, which is really good. I don't know if you can hear this, but the kookaburras are going off. It's getting dark here. Because our rows are 1.2 meters wide by 12 meters long, and this one stretches out to fit over the hoops. And the hoops we use are just pieces of, that's an alert to say there's a fire nearby, but it's middle of winter, so we're not worried. The hoops are just cut up pieces of ag pipe or electrical conduit. Could I do a mod vase demo? Yes, I can. I have done this before, but I will insert that at the end of this video. I'll pop it in. So if that's what you want to watch, it's at the end of the video of how to put those mod vases together. This next question is from @Jobo8819. I'm curious, with the tough economic times we're in and peeps watching their spending, how much of this impacts your business. So sad to see so many businesses and entrepreneurs struggling. Well, if you watched my video a couple of videos ago, you know, the no one likes to admit failure video, it pretty much covers that. So basically the business has folded. As of today, the day I'm filming this video, so this is right at the end of June. Excuse me. Oh, well, maybe I should go get a pillow. At the end of June, I officially shut down the business for the winter today. We got to the point where almost no orders were coming in, and I've explained all this in detail in that other video if you want to go watch that. I'll link that at the end of this video, and I'll put the link in the description. It just became, the business was costing us more than what we were making. It was no longer viable for us to continue, it is sad. And I know I had the word failure in the heading of that video. That was more of just an extreme title. I don't actually feel like we failed. I feel like we did quite well. We supported a family of 5 for 4 years selling flowers. And mostly selling our flowers. Majority were the ones we grew. So I feel like we actually did quite well. It's just really sad, the conditions that we're living in at the moment, it just folded. There's nothing we could do we can't force people to buy flowers, and people can't afford to buy them right now, and I wouldn't want to force that on them. So it's just sadly how it is. But instead of like completely closing the door, what I've done is I've just popped so when you go to our website, the Noble Flowers website, it just has a big banner that says we're on a winter break, we'll be back in spring. And I've messaged the people that get flower subscriptions, I've let them know I'm putting everything on hold. I'll be back in touch in spring. But I've also said to them, if over the winter you miss flowers and you know, we fully support you going to support another florist so you can buy your flowers. You know, so it's easy on them. And I've let the servo know when I've got stuff, I'll bring it down. So the servo can still run. That's not too hard, but I don't want to be at the wholesaler buying flowers over the winter. It's just, for example, we had one subscription that needed to be delivered on a Monday, every second Monday, and it was the only one. So I would have, the wholesaler's not open on a Monday, I'd have to go in and, like at this time of year, we've got some flowers growing, but not enough to put the variety in a bouquet that I'd like. So for their $55 bouquet, I needed to buy the flowers on a Friday, and I'd need at least 3 different bunches. So it'd cost me between $50 and $70 to get, 3 different types of flowers for that, or 3 or 4 different types to make that up, plus some foliage. So, $50 to $70, I shouldn't even say 50, let's say $60 to $70 I'd spend just to kind of get the bare minimum. And then I would go and deliver a $55 bouquet on a Monday. And in the past, I would have spent way more than that in the wholesaler, but and because I knew it would sell. But at the moment, I'm just trying to do bare minimum because I'm not sure if it'll sell. So if we don't get any other orders in, that $55 bouquet cost me, up to $70. It's just not viable. So that's what I mean. And then holding those flowers until the next subscriptions were due, where the bulk of them were, it wasn't going to work either. They weren't going to be fresh. So that's what I mean. Like I don't want to be buying flowers at the moment, and we're not growing enough. So that's where that's at. That's what the economic times have done to our business. Okay, this is a question I don't have an answer to, but maybe you might have an answer that you can pop in the description. So this is at Bee in the Clover, so it's Anne. What sprays to use if you have an insect problem? What do flower farmers use so they deliver bug-free flowers? We don't really have pest problems, which may just be luck. Maybe they haven't found us yet, but I think they should have by now. We hand water, and that does spray off a lot of problems. So I don't know. Moroni's got ideas from Mexico that he will use. Like you can soak the leaves of marigolds in water and make up a spray from that. There's different options. So I haven't used anything yet, but if you've got the answer to this question, please leave it in the comments section below. All right, so this is at Valley View Flower Farm Vlogs. Are you considering adding more permanent perennials to patch? I know you grow feverfew or other woodies to extend your growing season. What are your thoughts on perennials? Love your home grown and honest content. Thank you. Yes. We just haven't done it yet because we've been so busy setting up the flower farm just to get the annuals sorted. And I also hadn't put in any perennials or any of the woodies, well, not many, because I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to put them. And it turns out I want to put them around the house yard, so I need to build garden beds and make it part of a landscape garden rather than rows. Alicia Delton, I think it is, 6340. I would love to know what soil amendments you find success with. Currently also trying to build up organic matter in our rocky clay soils without having to order in masses of compost. Okay, my secret weapon is potatoes. Any really bad soil, I'll do a crop of potatoes in first. And I haven't even looked into the theories around this, but there's talk that it helps, and I've seen proof of it. It breaks the soil up, it creates a better soil texture. And so that's the first thing I'll do if I'm starting a new area and it's really bad. And I've done it a couple of times. I keep meaning to do a video on this and I haven't, but I will work on it. And then from there, we just use whatever we can get. So in the beginning, we were using mushroom compost, and that is in a lot of our beds now. The supplier we had for that is now not an option. He's not selling, he's selling bulk to the soil yards now, so we can't access it, unfortunately. But mushroom compost is a really nice one. Obviously manures. People don't love horse manure because of the grass seeds and the weeds that can potentially grow. But the guy that we buy it from, he composts it. So it's actually hot compost, it's cooked. And it's a very different texture, it's very nice. So we're using the horse manure, and it does still grow a few weeds. You just pull them out. It's not too big of a deal. I feel like any manure you can get your hands on well within reason. But if you've got cow manure, it's really good. Alpaca manure is really good. Chicken manure within reason. It's very high in urea. I actually use wood chips. So we got a whole heap of wood chips a few years ago. And I will mulch with those in the summer. And then they start to break down, and then I start turning them through the soil. Sugarcane mulch is another one that I really like because it adds some nutrients to the soil. It helps create good soil. I am going to do a video on the soil process that we've done because I'm really happy with where we're at with our soils. So Coomba Bay Kelpies. I don't know if I'm dyslexic, I can't read it, sorry. I know this is a Q&A, but I would love a demo of how you work with the mod vases. It's at the end of the video. Okay, Margaret Hatton, 2965. If you were starting over, what would you do anything differently knowing what you know now? You know what I would do? I would have gone out and bought a tiller or a rotary hoe just from day dot. That is the one thing that we continually say. If only we had of just, we spent, I think in the end, $700 or $900 on a secondhand one. Now knowing how valuable that has been to us, we would have just spent the money on it. Find the money and spend the money on it. That's probably our biggest thing. In terms of anything else that we would have done differently, I don't think so, because even when we've made mistakes along the way, we've learnt from them. I can't really think of anything else other than get that tiller. Like, it is so helpful. Tonya's Garden 3550. Oh, those mod vases, I can't find them in the US, boo. Would love to know your goals, what your goals are for 2025 or 4 seasons. Okay, the mod vases, I'm working on trying to obtain them so you can buy them easily. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, would love to know what your goals are for 2025 or 4 seasons. Our goals just changed. I might have to get back to you in a different video because a month ago, I could have sat here and told you our goals. The goals are now very different. We're still gardening. It's going to be flowers and vegetables. I will share the journey of what's happening and what we're going through and how we're managing this. At this point, that's all I know. I would like to build YouTube up. So I don't know whether I might maybe aim to do, so I've been doing 2 videos a week for this year so far. I've only missed a couple of weeks where I haven't put out 2 videos. Maybe I will do 3 videos a week. I would love to know if you think that's too much. I don't want to overwhelm people where there's too many videos for you to actually keep up with. The other idea is the videos are different types of videos. So the Saturday vlog stays the same, where if you just want to follow that sort of, you know, edutainment style vlog where you find out what I've been working on for the week, watch on the Saturday. The midweek Wednesday video has been pretty much either something educational or, yeah, it's pretty much been more educational, more sort of niched into an actual topic. So I don't know whether the 3rd video could be like a sit down chat about something or whether it's another vlog or what. I'm open to ideas, what you would like to see, if anything. Okay, Susan Hamilton, 4389. Did you ever have luck with the natives and proteas you planted? I recall you touched on this in the catch-up, but I had to leave in a hurry and the whole day is a bit of a blur. Oh, don't worry, we all know about that. Okay. Yes, we have had luck with the natives. We do have a little collection of them growing right up the back. They seem to be a favourite of the wallabies, and the hares are getting to them. So anything that we put in like that, it has to be caged. To be honest, it's not my focus. Moroni really loves it. It's not my focus because we have native, flower growers all around us. I'm struggling. Yeah, I should have just done this from bed, shouldn't I? Sorry about that. If I want to sell natives, I feel like I can very easily go and buy them. I feel like we're starting to get pretty dark here. I'm happy to sit here and continue as the sun goes down and the fire settles. I might chuck another log on the fire though. We'll do that to keep us going a bit longer, hey? Yeah, when I say chuck a log on the fire, I literally meant chuck logs on the fire, didn't I? I just need to get that down in there so it catches light. Yeah. Poke that in a bit more. Oh, broke. Okay, we're good. I do have a blanket though. I've got a cute blanket. Okay, but it's nice having a chat around the campfire, don't you think? Okay, what was the question? Oh, the natives. Yeah, so we are thinking we will grow some just for us. And when we want to do bouquets with natives, we'll have them there and it'll be a very seasonal thing. and we won't have a lot. I might even put them within the landscape, but Moroni really likes them up the back, so maybe that's his forte. Emily likes to jump. That's cute. Hi Phaedra, would love to know your process of when to cut back dahlias at the end of the season, and if you leave them in the ground or dig them out and store them. Normally what you would do is before the cold really sets in and it gets rainy, you would cut your stems back. I didn't do that. I went to Mexico and then some of them have rotted because I left the stems there. And the reason you don't want to leave the stems is because they're hollow and the water gets down in them, it goes down into the tuber and it rots the tuber out. So you do want to do that. I did see recently another farmer was talking about, she was forcing her dahlias to go into hibernation because they haven't had enough cold yet. So where, you know, on bamboo they've got the nodes, and if you cut through that node, there's no hollow, it's just like a stable piece. In the dahlia, it's a little bit similar to that, but it does have a little hole. But if you cut on those nodes on the stem, it does stop a lot of the water going down. So you can cut it there to try to prevent that, but you want to cut them back. And then I just leave them in the ground for a bit longer until I get around to digging them up. But really you want to try and do that before the rain sets in. I don't leave them in the ground. Mine would rot. Oh, and storing them. I just store them as clumps in cardboard boxes. I don't put any wood chips or anything. They're stored like that. We're quite a humid climate, so they're not going to dry out too much. And then I divide them in the spring when I can see the eyes. Okay, Alex and Alexandra Nails. Oh, okay. Sorry that I'm so all over the place with this. Hey, if you plant delphinium, how do you germinate? How do you grow? I'm from Romania. We have similar weather, but I don't succeed with this plant, thank you. Neither do I, so I'm sorry I can't help you. I've had trouble with delphinium. I've tried to raise it in seed trays, and I've also thrown some out in the field just to see what will happen. So we might have to touch back on this if I happen to have success. But it's a flower that I want to learn how to grow properly. Glenda Hill 8806. Do you schedule a break in business during the year? Oh, I should leave this up here. It's light, isn't it? Okay, so no, we hadn't up until this year when we went to Mexico, and it was so good. But it also highlighted to us how stressed we were. So the folding of the business has kind of come at a time where we probably really needed it, and we needed to sit back and assess things anyway. And moving forward, we will schedule breaks because we need them. Other than that, we would take little breaks away, like, you know, 1, 2 or 3 night getaways, and we just do like a few of them throughout the year. But it was really nice to get away from the farm for, you know, a couple of weeks. So we will schedule that from now on. Sarah's Blooms, NZ. NZ usually means New Zealand. Hi, is your flower farm profitable yet? And if so, do you have any tips? I am a year 4 flower farmer and still struggling to be profitable. It was profitable. We were profitable from year 1. And it was because we opened up a florist business and we sold retail. And we supported a family of 5 for 4 years doing that. But if you don't know, if you haven't already heard, I just shut the florist business down for the winter. It got to the point where there was just no sales, no orders, and it was costing me money to keep it open. So up until now, it was going really well. It is just a really, really hard time in a lot of places of the world to operate. And I have heard from people, it may have even been you, Sarah, you might have been one of them, New Zealand in a similar position. So I am in the same boat now. Coomba Kelpies. Oh, that's a difficult one. Okay, thank you, Phaedra. Would love a rundown on the mod vases and how you make them look so great. Also, I'm probably making my bouquets too big, but I can't put them in the pre-tied boxes. Okay, there's different size mod vases. There's 3 different sizes. I think our wholesaler only sells 2 sizes, the medium and the large now. The small was very small. So you do kind of need to use the right size mod vase for what you're making. And yeah, you can't overstuff them. There is a limit to how many flowers you can put in them, which I find helpful because it helps you to stop overstuffing your bouquets. The rundown on them is at the end of the video. Glenda Hill 8806. Does stripping the lower leaves on the flowering kale cabbage help to get longer stems? Growing for the first time this year, thank you. Okay, so I just went blue. I don't know what that's all about, I think because it got really dark. Yes, stripping the leaves on the kale, it actually stops the plant from putting energy into the leaves. So you want to get them off. So yeah, it's making the stem look longer, but doing that isn't necessarily the reason why the stems are getting longer, if that makes sense. Oh, something I want to say too is thank you so much to those who send, what are they called? Super thanks on YouTube. It blows my mind. Like I've just found one here, Bron Posy Farm. Bron is so sweet. She's actually a local flower farmer. She's up the road from us. She's actually helped me. Posy Farm, Bron from Posy Farm is the one who helped me out with a couple of buckets of flowers when I had no flowers after the floods. You are very sweet, Bron. And also, I know I just went really bright. Sorry about that. On my most recent video, I just got to find it. I also got a super thanks from, hopefully I can find it. Oh, there it is. In Bloom's Greytown, New Zealand. Thank you so much. That is very, very sweet and very appreciated. Okay, back to this. Okay, how cold does it get here over winter? We get down to about -5, -6 degrees overnight, and then daytime temps can vary. The other day it just stayed at 5 degrees for the day. Some days can get up to 15 in the winter. It just depends if the sun's shining, usually. Okay, I just have a funny one here from Green Bee Floral Co. So she just said, "Oh, to just casually bury eucalyptus bush for compost. Cries in Canadian." Looking forward to seeing these bloom. This was when I did the planter boxes for the ranunculus and I cut up eucalyptus trees and I stuffed the branches down in it. I think it was in relation to that video. I just thought it was funny. Cries in Canadian. Okay, last question. So this is Kazmarsh 6395. I was wondering how long you sit your dahlias in hot water, and if you cut the stems of the dahlia after making the bouquet, do you put them back in hot water again? So when I put the dahlias in the hot water, they just go straight into that from the field, and then I leave them in that bucket until the water has has just gone to room temp, and then, which is an hour or two, and then I just move them into the holding solution, the Crystal 2. Then I make the bouquet, trim the stems, and then they go into either the Crystal 2 again, or they're going into a flower food because they're going in one of the mod vases. So no, I don't then put them in hot water again. They only get that first treatment of hot water. Thank you so much for sticking around while the sun went down and we ended up in complete darkness. I really should have thought this through, but it's a little bit of fun and the fire's nice. I will be back with another video on Saturday. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. I am having a little bit of trouble keeping up with comments now. I do read them. So if you get a thumbs up or a love heart, you'll know that I've read it. Please keep leaving your comments. I love it. I love reading it. It's encouraging. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I'm going to show you how to make these mod vases. So they come flat pack in 2 pieces, the actual vase and the liner, and you'll also need a piece of string to keep it all together. So I'm going to put you on the same angle that my arms are going to do this at. So starting with, sorry, I've got 2 bases there. Starting with the base, it's actually got instructions on it of where to start, and you just follow. So it'll say first, second, third, and fourth. So all you want to do is, I just rest it on the table or something. First, and then you put down second, third, and this fourth one you're pushing it in to that slot. So it'll sit like that, flip it around, and you just push it down in the bottom like that. So that's the base done. And then you need to crease all of these edges. So I just go around, flip it over, go back the other way. This is probably the trickiest part. You then want to condense it all in, but you've got to make sure you're catching all those little edges. I just broke that bit. We'll carry on. So you want to make sure they're all in. I'll show you what I mean. You don't want any hanging out like that. So you've got to push it in, make sure they're all in. Got one more out there. I've broken my edge, so it's going to look a bit unruly now. And then just hold it in place. I usually go around twice. Pull it. Don't pull it too tight though, because if you pull it really, really tight, the string cuts through the cardboard and you've ruined your box. Tie it off. And there's our mod vase. You can tidy it up a little bit too, just neaten it up if you need to. Those little lower pieces sometimes just need poking back in. And then I get the liner, put my hand in it and push it down. And the reason I put it over the edges is so when I pour the water in, I don't accidentally get the cardboard wet. And then of course, once you've put the flowers in it, you pull this back up and you tuck it in around the stems so that, or around the paper so you can't see that plastic anymore. So there you go, mod vase is done.
Hello, my child friend.
What do you want to say?
Hello, my child friend.
Your child friend?
Yeah.
Aww. So, hi everyone, like and subscribe.
Hello, everyone. Like and subscribe.
You're the cutest boy in the world.
What is this stuff?
It's a cute little camera. Do you like it?
Mommy, can you just... Mommy, can you just sit down it?
No, you got to go inside in a minute.
No.
Yeah, because Mummy's going to sit here and film something.